Welcome back. The Johannesburg Emergency Management Services have been working round the clock this Easter weekend. During this period, emergency services across the country are usually extremely busy as traffic flows and calls for assistance are generally high. And to discuss this further, we're joined by Sinok Matobako, the spokesperson for the City of Johannesburg Emergency Management Services. Sinok, a very good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, Sipho, and good morning to your viewers.
All right, let's start with making comparisons. Just how busy the EMS was this year compared to last year over this period.
We were busy as EMS, as you know, it's usually getting busy during this Easter period. But what's different from what happened last year and then what happened this is the issue of motor vehicle accident. We have seen a reduction in terms of motor vehicle accidents, and then we have seen increase in terms of assaults. We responded to quite a lot of assaults during this period.
Okay, I know the official stats are not released yet, but would you say the fatality figures have increased or decreased compared to the previous years?
That's a difficult one, Semper. Remember that that's the jurisdiction of the MEC of Transport. And as you know, that the three spheres of government, you know, we have different municipalities at local, and then we also have provinces. And then whatever information that is there is then sent to the Minister of Transport, who will actually give out the stats, because we don't want to give stats out as municipalities, because that might be deceiving, and then people might think that we have a reduction or increase. And when the stats is all collected, then we find that there's an increase or there's a decrease. So we normally leave it to the Minister of Transport to give out the stats in terms of the fatalities. But I said, from our side, we have seen a reduction in terms of the motor vehicle accident that we have responded to, and there's an increase in terms of the assaults during that this period. Okay, but stats aside, have you had to deal with road fatalities? Yes, no, we haven't actually had any fatalities. Yes, we did deal with road accidents, but we didn't experience any fatalities. We had about 100 and something motor vehicle accidents that we have responded to, and then we know that during this time of Easter, we also have problems in terms of pedestrian accidents. We have also had a lot of pedestrian accidents that we have responded to, sitting at about 113 pedestrian accidents as the City of Johannesburg that we have responded to. What are the common situations or incidents that you are normally called in for? And you've just mentioned that it's assault, and that's quite bizarre, especially this particular weekend. Yeah, no, you know that people use this period as a festivity season where they celebrate, and then alcohol also contribute towards that we see a lot of drunkenness, and then also people attacking each other, and then assault. And then also you know that it's a fact that motor accidents are also caused by drink and driving. We see a lot of people consuming alcohol during this time of the year, and then that leads to motor vehicle accidents. And then also people taking, you know, long trips, and fatigue also contribute towards that, because they don't get time to rest while driving. Yeah. And how do you deal with drunken driving cases? Our core department, Johannesburg Metropolis, I think they have done quite a lot in terms of enforcement on dealing with those issues of drink and driving. From our side, what we normally do, we run campaigns in terms of road safety with Metropolis, with Johannesburg Metropolis, where we make pedestrians and also drivers to be aware in terms of what are the things that they have to look for whilst driving. Okay, so how do your members prepare for busy periods like this? I'm talking about the Easter, I'm talking about the festive season. Yeah, we know that it's going to be one of the busiest period for us as an emergency services. So, you know, I'm supposed to be a church, I'm not a church, and we say that, you know, we beef up our staff in anticipation of the problems that we might encounter during that period. So we start by preparing our staff and making sure that we have enough staff complement that will be able to deal with the eventuality of a major incident. But also, we don't start dealing with issues during Easter weekends. You know, from December, January, we start doing what we call awareness campaign. I mean, we have lost with the MEC of Public Safety, Michael San, we launched Easter safety campaign at Grasmere, where we conscientize our community and drivers to say that they should be aware, and these are the things that they shouldn't be doing to reduce number of accidents that are happening during this time of the year. Which
were the hot spots that you focused on in Gauteng?
The launch happened at the Grasmere toll gate on N1 going to Bloemfontein. We know that the national roads are the busiest when it comes to during this time of the year. You know, your N1 going to Limpopo, N1 going to Bloemfontein. You also have the N3 that is also busy. So those are the roads that we look at, the ones that are coming into Johannesburg and then leaving Johannesburg. You know, we look at those and then try to address the issue of road safety.
And for those who are watching right now and preparing to travel back to their respective homes, what sort of message do we have for them?
Well, what we've realized, you know, what causes most of the accident is that our drivers are very impatient. It's one of the problems that they don't accede to the speed limit. And then also the issue of fatigue that I've mentioned, that, you know, our drivers, they need to rest after they have driven for a certain distance. If they feel tired, they need to stop and refresh and then go back into their vehicle. And then also we see that when there are accidents, you know, people want to stop and watch, and that also create problems. And then people driving on an emergency lane, when there's an accident or if the traffic is not flowing properly, they will go into emergency lane, and that creates problem for emergency vehicles to respond to incidents and then to try and assist those that are injured. So we are appealing to our motorists that to respect the emergency lane, and then also to give way to emergency vehicles when they come, and then also to keep a safe following distance. And it's been raining in Johannesburg, you know, during this period, that they have to be careful when driving when it's raining, and then also to put on their seat belt, and then also to switch on the headlights so that they can be visible.
Unfortunately, time is not at our side, but then Sinok, thank you so much for chatting to us.
Thank you very much, and thank you to your listeners.
Sinok Matobako, the spokesperson of the Johannesburg Emergency Management Services, speaking to us right here on the Morning Live. Let's go for an air break now.